Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mediak. I don't really have a fun intro. I'm just going to go kind of jump right into it because I have some things I want to say. So, as usual, there's Skylar over there, Chandler over here, and me, Zach, down here. Chandler decided to pick this movie. We were doing City of Thieves. Chandler,
Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves, same thing. Whatever. Who cares? Something of Thieves. It doesn't really matter all that much if we're being honest here. Chandler, did you have a nice week? It matters if I care if Skylar had a nice week, but it really matters if you had a nice week, Chandler.
I had a pleasant week. I had a very pleasant week.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's
What about
I'm
you?
happy to hear that.
Why?
So Chandler picked this movie, and we had some pretty great episodes going so far. Like we started off with Skylar's pick of Ford versus Ferrari, which is one of my favorite movies we've ever done on the podcast. And then we went into a pretty good TV show. And then Chandler said last week, I want to keep it going. He was like, I want to keep the crazy movie, really great numbers going. And he chose this one.
City of Thieves.
City of Thieves. He chose that, yeah. Chandler, what do you think about this choice? What did you think about the movie upon rewatch?
In hindsight, I don't know who that person was a week ago. I don't support or condone anything he said.
Right.
Yeah, this is tough. This is brutal.
So do you agree that it sucked?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. It was
Very much
terrible.
so.
Dude,
It was slow. It was so slow.
yeah, in the worst way possible. Also, one thing that I like to write that if I don't like a movie, I like to write down the definitive point in which like the movie lost me. And Chandler, I want you to know that it was the second the text hit the screen on the at the beginning, because that was the dumbest fun fact. That was the dumbest fun fact in the history of the universe, because California, like, everything that they do allows for that to happen. In addition to that, all of the bank robberies are not like heists. They're just some guy walking in with a banana and saying, I'm robbing you now, and then them giving him money, and then the person walks out, and then his buddy walks in and does the exact same thing, and that counts as 2 bank robberies. It's just what California is. So they were like, it's just some giant, big, underground thievery ring where people are going around and robbing a bunch of... No, it's a guy with a banana. Like, it's not that crazy. Sorry,
Yeah.
I read that and
go
I was
off
like,
this point.
we're on a great start here.
I'm gonna keep going. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I went into this movie with so low expectations because of the time period you said you liked it in.
I had
strictly
middling
because of that.
expectations. I was like, you never know with
And
action movies.
somehow
And it has a
Chandler-
sequel.
It has
Yes.
It has a
Well,
sequel somehow.
You went below them. I don't know how this movie went below
This
the
movie
low
sucked.
expectations that I
Oh,
had.
bro. When I watched it, though, I definitely watched it when it came out, the year of 2018. I liked it for sure.
That's fair.
I do remember myself liking it, but I think I liked it for its twist at the very end, because it was just like, what? That made no sense, but okay. But
Yes.
guys,
It
finish what
did
you wanted to
indeed
say.
make no sense.
Chandler. Oh my goodness.
All right.
When
I
I
guess we
tell
should
you,
start looking at the
I
notes
never
now.
really take pauses during movies. I'm pretty good at finishing through. Even regardless of how bad the movie is. Like, for example, the one I talk about all the time, Constantine. I still sat through that movie the entire time without taking a break.
Love that movie.
I stopped this movie twice.
Oh my god.
Chandler,
I can't imagine how you guys are gonna rate this.
One thing I wrote down about halfway through it was like, I guarantee this is someone's Black Adam, you know, like someone who like who's a super
was mine.
boofy himbo guy. Like, this is probably his Black Adam, you know, who doesn't know anything about crime or like how the real world works
movies.
at all, or movies or anything like that. This is probably his favorite movie, and that's great. Good for him. But I'm never gonna watch this again. It was the most average, like, it was 2.5 hours long. Crazy.
Mhm.
that
It could
that
have been
length.
an hour.
It could have been an hour.
Mhm.
I'll say the last 40 minutes really flew, and that's a lot of credit because they just had stuff going. They didn't have a lot of exposition. That's great. But also the entire family plot line could have been removed from the movie and nothing would have changed, because they had no resolution to it in the slightest. He just kind of was an asshole to his wife, and that was it. That's just his character now for some reason.
yeah.
What the fuck? Why? That just made me like Nick
He really
so much
did that.
less. What?
He's a bad cop.
He's just a bad guy in general. Like, I honestly like stood up from my chair and paced around my room whenever he tased the guy. I was like, holy fuck! Like, this is so not realistic. Like, to what I understand that I shouldn't have had this expectation going into the movie and thinking of how it would work in the real world. But you got to understand that we're trying to be critics here. You know, like I'm calling it as I see it. Okay, I watch a movie and I want to be immersed. The second I see a cop tase a guy just randomly, I'm like, yes, that sometimes happens, but not in that situation.
So there's another thing close to those lines that I'm like, why would a cop do this?
Yes.
At the very end, whenever they're having the gun thing and they're caught up in traffic, that's where they decide to pick everything. Also, nobody's in their cars.
Dude, that's what I was thinking that exact same thing too. They're just shooting at civilians, and also no, the civilians are gone somehow. They just disappeared.
Yeah. Like somehow they're stopped in traffic, but all the civilians are gone, and they never saw them leave. So how would the cops know? So they're shooting at civilians.
But
some.
I do agree, not all those cars could have left.
Yeah, there was 30. They said there was 30. I think I saw maybe a couple people.
Also, that was the most boring action sequence ever because it was just like series of shots of singular guys going. What's interesting about that? There's no gunplay at all.
Different angles where one of them, he's like, go around,
go around, and he dives a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. It was sad.
I was really hoping that my expectations were wrong, and I was gonna misjudge you. And Pirates 5 was just a fluke.
Wait, when did Pirates 5 release?
I don't even know.
Was it around the same time?
This is arguably worse. Like, I'd say this is worse because this.
I would rather watch Pirates 5 twice than watch this movie
because it's weird. Because like Pirates 5 at least has characters that I enjoy. There's not a single person in this movie I liked.
I don't even remember any of their names.
I hated them. Nick's the only one because it was the most simple name.
Merriman? That's an interesting name.
I didn't get that one.
That's like
okay.
His friend.
Before we get too far, Chandler, do you want to give a summary?
The guy
let's be honest here. There's probably not a lot of people who know this movie very well. Chandler, hit us with what happened.
So I guess if anyone was curious and they wanted to go to the Cinemark and they wanted to watch the sequel, I'm gonna give you a little quick summary so you don't have to bother yourself when watching this film, and you can just skip straight to part 2. That is if it's not a prequel. Who knows?
I think it is a sequel.
It's a sequel.
I'll fucking die if it's a prequel. No way I want to watch that shit.
I'll look it up while you do your summary.
Okay. So, also real quick before I give the summary, the movie I thought we were watching is not what we watched. I'll just say that. What I remembered is not what we watched. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. I do remember watching this film, but the whole time.
What movie were you thinking of then?
I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever know, but it was not this film, even though I have seen this. Regardless, the summary goes, where does this even start? I can't even remember where the movie begins.
They shot up a thing and stole a bank.
Oh, the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, this group that follow under a guy named Merriman steal like a bank car. One's or truck, excuse me, that ships money back and forth between their destinations, but it's completely empty. And so whenever the cops get around, like the LAPD and all the sheriffs, they're really confused why this heist occurred and why they stole an empty van to begin with. Well, it turns out that they wanted to use that for a later heist in which they were going to rob an actual bank. A bank that's super secure, in which they track all the money going in, except going out. They roughly, I suck at these things, bro. The movie has to be good for me to summarize this stuff. So roughly $30 million gets wasted at this bank, and so the purpose of the heist is to.
By wasted, he means like they destroy it because of inflation reasons.
Yes, they shred it. And before they shred it, they kind of remove the ID code, so it's not being tracked anymore. So the purpose of this final heist and why they got this truck to begin with was to steal the money that was about to be thrown away. So leading up till then, they steal a car. There's lots of family drama that doesn't make sense, and you can kind of forget about.
The cops magically figure out who is in each step.
Ah,
Dude,
seriously.
that is okay.
Summary.
We'll do a quick summary. They do the heist. It goes right, but apparently it was wrong because someone within the heist actually was playing both sides, and he ended up making it big. That's the summary of the entire movie. That's basically it. But like,
Literally, there's so much bluff. And, in the
exactly,
middle.
the plot ends an hour into the movie, and then the rest of it is just filler, and then the heist, obviously. But can we just talk about? Excuse me. I wrote down that was the last thing I wrote down before little bits and pieces because I just obviously couldn't stop myself from ripping this movie apart while I was going. But the last thing I was like, this movie's too stupid. I can't write down everything or I'm gonna run out of pages. That exposition scene is one of the worst exposition scenes I've ever seen in a movie because
Very end.
in the middle where they're talking about where one side's talking about the heist and the other side is talking about the team. At first I really hated it on both ends because I was like, how the fuck does the heist team know any of this information? But at the end of the movie they showed that the guy got the information for it, but that does not explain how any of the fucking guys in the cops team knew any of that shit. They just kind of were like, the guy doesn't want to work with them, so then they now know all of this because some guy played football with another guy that might be doing crimes. Like, how does that connect to any of the other people on their heist squad? That doesn't make any sense. It upset me to an unnatural degree.
Yeah, a lot of that didn't make sense. I don't understand this. Like, whenever they stole that van.
Yeah.
Or that truck, whatever it is. They didn't really have many leads, right? Except for the one guy that passed, and it took time to recover like the details about that person, that individual. But immediately, their first suspect was Merriman. Could this be Merriman?
Yeah.
Who is like why?
Like why? Why'd you think of that?
Yeah, and then it's like they knew everything about. It's like
everything.
We didn't know who the guy is.
Dude, I wish.
Next scene they knew everything. Every individual person on that heist or on that team.
I made a joke. I was like, the only realistic thing they had in this movie was the fact that the cops were drunk, high, and disrespectful at the crime scenes. But then I also thought about it more and be like, if these guys were drunk and high and disrespectful of the crime scenes, how the fuck are they figuring anything out? Like, there's no way that they built up these terrible, disgusting beings and now they're geniuses at solving crime? Like, what the fuck? It was so unbelievable. Go ahead.
Disrespect the FBI on the spot, and the FBI were just like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, aren't they higher than you?
They're your boss, bro.
A lot?
Yeah, they can get you fired.
Well, aren't they literally the ones who could just send you home if you do that?
Also,
he just doing whatever. He didn't explain anything. And then his teammates were like, oh, I know what he's doing. And then they're like, let me follow.
Also, where were the other cops? There was him and the detectives, and then there was not a single beat cop to be seen. Does he just only have those 5 guys?
Oh, also, the one part in this movie that I think I hated the singular most, I wrote it down because I think it's a line in every single one of these movies. Every single style of this
generic
movie,
slop.
just like the bank heist types. Just because I think it's more specific to what it's like. Nobody's been able to rob this bank. That's why we're gonna be the first. And I'm like, dude.
Cringe.
I hate that. I hated that. And also the cop texting his wife. Oh my god, this girl's so hot.
So cringe, bro.
Was terrible.
I hated that.
If you actually do that, that is the saddest thing in the planet. That is the saddest thing in the world.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I even said that. Like, how does someone even do this?
One other thing, whenever they were
no way you go to a strip club and you're like texting people like, yo, the girls here are so hot. Like, no, there's no way. There's just
who talks like that, bro? Like, that's so cringe.
Was he texting like I assumed it was like one of the strip like whenever they tased the guy and they were like interrogating him, they had a bunch of strippers there.
Yeah,
right?
he was texting. He tried to text one of them.
Right. Okay. But he just how do you accidentally text your wife? Like
it don't matter.
I agree. That is very weird.
Dude, he was probably drunk and high and he misclicked.
Yeah, and he was disrespectful of the crime scenes, and then it happened.
Yeah, like that one too.
Yeah. I'm just
like, they're gonna be the first ones to rob this bank on my watch. Dude, these girls are so hot.
So cringe, dude.
Can we mention like
I hate him.
Of of like the one of the bad guys. I don't know his name, but whenever they talk to the son or the kid who was going to pick up his daughter
Yeah.
to go on a date of some sort,
Dude, I don't
and
know.
he brought him into the
The
garage.
prom?
I
all
actually
those
liked that
guys.
scene. He just was fucking with him for no
Oh,
reason.
100%.
I
But
thought it
just
was
like,
funny.
what was the whole
It was
point of
There's
that?
no
Was it
point.
just like
There's no
There was no
point.
point.
It was just a funny moment in
just
the
for
in the
comedy.
movie.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, it was
Mhm.
funny. I agree.
what I'm gonna say one thing about realism, and then I'm gonna stop hammering it home because I know we get the point. But microwaving money like that doesn't work. Like that's not. It
never
lights
seen
it
that
on
before.
fire. Fun fact.
And
It actually lights it on
I don't
fire.
know. Okay, yeah, I thought that too. I was like, okay, this thing's either gonna explode or catch on fire.
Yeah,
And
it
I was like,
lights on
what
fire.
is this even checking for? And then second, what was the first one? Had they put money into a sink and it started gurgling up red?
That's
What
like
happened?
a die inside of the like randomly inside of money packets, like those money bricks. They put those things so that whenever you open them up, it explodes and it ruins all of the money if you steal it. So like that is
They
a
put it in
real
water
thing.
so it wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. I was gonna say how. I was like, I know money does not make that happen. I've taken my cash out in the rain.
no,
and
they
I
were
have not
testing
gotten.
for. I didn't have a
Okay.
problem with that. I had a problem with them taking the money and putting it into a microwave, like as if
Yeah,
that
I had a
would
problem
do
with that too. I had
anything.
a problem with. I'm gonna be honest. I had a problem with the whole movie, but like
I had
that
a problem
part
with
in
the whole movie
particular
too.
didn't make sense to me either.
I,
Chandler, I really want to give you a redemption pick, but I'm really scared.
no, I was
I could.
selfish and I chose all of February for my birthday. So
No, that's
he-
fine. I meant like a different time. I really want to.
that's fine. Yeah,
Like,
he got to redeem himself somehow.
I can redeem
he
myself.
really
Yeah.
does.
This was a shot in the dark. It really was. It
Mhm.
really
Okay.
was. I'm curious. I'm gonna look up when Pirates of the Caribbean 5 released because
Oh,
think
I did look it up. The next one is a sequel.
it is.
Is a
Okay.
sequel to this movie.
Sick, dude. That's
So,
that's so awesome. I'm so excited.
Was it? I wrote down some other things. Partway through the movie, I just stopped writing.
The scene at the bar at
And
the
then,
beginning where he was like, "Hey, old man, I bet you pull pussy," and then he goes, "Hey, I'd fuck you." Hey,
Yeah, I
just
like that.
kidding. I hated that. Hated it.
Yeah.
I wanted Chandler. I
Oh.
wanted to turn the movie off right then. I was like, "This is it. I'm done. No more."
I actually thought that was funny just because how stupid it was. It was
hated
so bad.
Cringe.
The one guy who texted his wife. I'm sorry. I don't know any of their names. But the one guy who texted his wife about the strip club. Whenever he went back to that one
Nick.
stripper's room, and then he met. I think he was the bad guy. It was
Yeah.
like the guy with the shaved head. They
Very
were
nice.
staring at each other for unnecessarily long.
It really was.
It was
a
like
while.
it felt like
Yeah,
4
that was
minutes.
awkward. That was awkward.
Yeah,
Both
it could have
were
been
like,
like
his
30
phone
seconds and
number?
it was good.
So that whole interaction was just to get his phone number.
I think.
Just so he
Dude,
could
and
call
he
him
left
that one
he left
time.
A loaded gun
How
on the counter as a
elaborate.
cop.
How
He left a
elaborate.
loaded gun on the counter of a different person's house as a cop. What?
How did this? There are so many movies that will never get a sequel, but this
Yeah,
one
obviously.
did.
Yeah.
That's crazy
It
to
wasn't.
me.
It's just like stupid money, you know. It's just.
I think
know
the
it-
budget
this
for
movie
this one was
I-
30 million.
And I would like
I
to say
think-
that this thing should be inherently entertaining, but this was boring. Like I wrote somewhere like, I can't tell. Like at moments I was actually like nervous. Like I was nervous.
You were
in
invested
moments.
or whatever.
Yes. And then other times I felt like I was watching a documentary because of the
Um,
pace of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the text on the bottom of the screen.
The scene
Uh,
where the guy like that EMP was really dumb. Just gonna be honest. Like the glowing blue box. The scene where the guy walked into there, why would he walk into there? Like why did they think something was wrong with the money at that point? Why did he then stop walking in and call in two cafeteria
else to do it.
workers to then go in and check? And then also the scene that actually like really upset me was whenever he delivered the food and they were upset that they didn't get everything. So instead of doing what any person on the entire planet would do and call the restaurant, she was like, "It is the delivery boy's fault. Call him back."
And they never did anything about that.
Never
too.
did anything about
Yeah.
it. I just
No,
fuck, dude.
like-
This really
like, you
sucked.
And also, did he just leave their food above the bathroom for a day?
He did indeed.
Yeah.
Did
I-
they not smell that it was bad?
The one girl was fine with it. The other one wasn't.
Yeah, the one. But wasn't she mad that her? It wasn't that her. Was it that her food was bad or she didn't get it all? Which one was she mad about?
It sounded
Well,
like she didn't have enough food. She was like, they left this. Oh, well, I'm gonna go get them.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm like,
And she
first,
said,
your food
"You're
is
so
probably bad.
finicky."
How do you not smell that?
Don't hear that word often.
Second, it looked like you wanted warm food. That is lukewarm at best. There are so many things. Also,
Yeah.
you're telling me whenever they go into the bathrooms to clean. So he went in the first time to check and see if anybody was in there before he put the food up. And then whenever he's coming down, he just glances over top, and that's good enough. There's no way he would have seen anybody. There's no way that like somebody could have easily just walked in the middle and been like, "What are you doing?"
I remembered his name. His name is Donnie, the guy who made out like a bandit at the end.
Oh,
His name's Donnie.
Oh,
His actor sucked. Crazy that they made him the hook. Like they made him the guy who like came out in the end because he sucked. Not a good actor.
I feel like a lot of this movie's draw was we have 50 Cent. We got 50
Wait.
Cent, guys.
50 Cent? Is that
They
Donnie?
had tons of people. in
Who's
that.
50
that's
Cent?
not Donnie.
He
50
was-
Cent, the rapper. He was
He was the kid that took the other. He was the guy that took the kid into the garage with all those.
Oh, cool.
that was 50 Cent. I feel like
They
that
had
was this movie's main draw.
couple-
Zach, glad your movie just got better.
They had a couple of UFC guys.
They did, yeah.
The one guy that got
Yeah, that-
kicked out of the garbage truck.
The
and
the
the-
guy who killed the guy at the beginning, right?
Budget 30 million.
The guy that got killed in the very beginning.
No,
I don't know.
the guy who
What?
killed the guy at the beginning, and they were like, "Why'd you kill the guy at the beginning?" And he was like, "I had to kill the guy at the beginning because the guy at the beginning was attacking me, and I had to kill the guy at the beginning."
IMDb gives us a 7 out of 10.
I've seen 7 out of 10s elsewhere. But
Crazy. I mean, like here's like I said, I guess. No, I'm sorry. I don't understand that. I was trying to justify it, but this is a terrible movie. This is a really bad movie. It
It is.
there's not really like if you like heist movies, there's a million other heist movies that are so much better than this film. Like
Yeah.
oh god.
Wasn't Bad Boys classified as a heist movie?
Mission
Or-
Impossible, fucking Ocean's 11, and I know 12 and 13 are also bad, and 8 is fine, but like all of the Ocean's movies except for the very, very, very first one are better than this.
This movie, so its budget was 30 mil. The box office was 80 million. And the other movie released.
What in the tax write-offs
And
is
they-
a sequel?
I don't know.
yeah, it's
don't know.
crazy.
But is the other one already out?
It just came out.
It says on here. It says it came out January 10th.
Yeah, it came out this month.
Do you want to say some nice things?
Oh,
about the
okay.
movie? Do we have any nice things about the movie?
No,
Dude, it
honestly, I
ended.
really didn't like a single aspect of it.
I have a couple things I thought I
I like
liked.
the ending.
I thought the
Um,
ending was different because I wasn't
I meant the part
expecting
when
it.
it was done.
Oh, that was good, Skylar. You're funny, man.
I liked
You
the
know
part-
what? You know what? I think you get to pick the very following movie after February, the first movie of March.
So
I want to give my pick to Chandler. I want Chandler to do my.
Okay.
Chandler has the ability to pick a good movie. I know he.
I
Does.
know he does. Yeah, he
can
has
pick
good
he can
taste.
pick a 10. He can pick a 10.
Don't just pick one that you think we're gonna like. Pick one that you like. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, pick one that you would rate like an 8 or higher, and then we will
Cars
see
2.
if we agree.
Cars 2. Okay.
No, I'm joking.
That'd be
Yeah.
something.
But you
So
don't have to pick it
you-
now. You have a month. You have a month to pick a really good movie to
Okay, I'll
surprise
lock
me.
in.
Zach.
I'll lock in. Zach,
Yeah,
so you're saying I
because-
don't get that Mediak medal?
What?
Do you remember that text?
Oh
like,
yeah,
it-
dude. I want you to know I had finished watching the movie at that point, and I was like, no way. He's not a chance.
You have a Mediac Metal stripped from you.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you're lucky I didn't steal this from you. I didn't want to be mean. Like, okay, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, Chandler, because like you did pick this movie, and I was like, he likes it. But the entire time I was watching it, I was super nice in my notes. Like if you watch my notes, I'm being way more like lenient with the movie than what I am right now. But it's the fact that you guys are justifying it for me, and it's just like, yeah, dude, every aspect of this movie fucking sucked. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have many nice things to say about
Like the one
I
thing
hated that gun
absolutely
scene.
blows my mind is the end gun scene. How it starts with civilians in the car and they're using
that
the
one's
cars
terrible.
to protect them.
I guess I should have been more specific.
Characters.
Like I hated any time Nick gave up what was happening, bro. Like I know they wanted it to be like a cat and mouse thing, like him and this guy are basically the same, but they're on opposite sides. But anytime he walked up to him and like blew his cover, I was like, this movie is so stupid. Like at Ichiban, where he went up and did that scene, hated that. And then the very fucking next scene, he went to the same gun range as that guy. God, that was. Yeah, how do you know? How do you know?
How do you know any of that?
Great point, Chandler. Thank you. But also,
Second.
like, yep.
Why did he take the thing the guy was shooting at? Why did he take that? What
Why?
was necessary?
You mean why didn't the guy
Because-
shooting at it take it? Because it's customary to take your fucking thing down whenever you leave in a gun range.
Badass, bro.
Oh yeah, he's badass. He was just leaving it. Also,
Look
that
at my
scene,
word.
like right before that scene, they were like, "We can't show our faces in front of the bad guys, or it'll ruin the entire thing." The very next scene, Nick shows up at the gun range with him. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? This movie doesn't even like listen to itself. It hates itself. I hate it. Sorry for that little rant. I'm getting progressively more angry as we go, especially since I finished my pretzels, so now I have energy.
Can we turn around back to something you first stated, the intro?
Yeah.
All that. So I wrote down with like, you know how they had the facts.
Yeah.
44 robberies a week.
Yeah.
If you divide that by 7, you're just north of 6.
Mhm.
6
A day.
42.
Yes.
Just shy of 44. Why is the next sentence 9 robberies a day?
They did the math wrong?
If you look at it,
No way!
44 a week, 9 a day.
Dude, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I did not check their work. Why?
Dude, I'm
Dude,
so glad you checked that.
Chandler, you are so smart. I'm so happy you did that. That's crazy. Holy
Immediately-
shit.
Immediately I
That
thought I was
movie,
like, this is a bad movie.
I-
I goofed.
I-
I goofed.
you. That's when you noticed. You were like, "Fuck, I messed up." That's so funny.
Dude, how many people believe that? How many people just saw that and were like, yeah, that's right.
And now they
Unless
tell
they
their
were
friends.
doing-
They're like, "Bro,
Maybe
dude,
they
they
didn't
get
count
robbed
this.
9
Maybe they
times a
didn't count this.
day."
Maybe they didn't count weekends.
Yeah.
during the
Maybe
work
they're
week.
like, the robbers take weekends off, bro. It's only the work
It's
week.
not,
Maybe
that's
that's
not
what
even
they meant, I guess.
It'd be 44 by 5.
That's crazy.
8.
It's
That's
clo-
like just under 9.
Yeah, I mean, 44 divided by 5 is close to 9. I guess if,
Yeah.
if they wanted to exclude the weekends, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Maybe banks are closed on 2 days a week. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know.
Maybe banks are closed. I mean, banks are closed on Sunday, but that seems like an easy time to. It doesn't mean you can't rob
That's
them.
when you go and rob them.
Yeah, that's one of the that's when the Den of Thieves goes and robs
imagine
them
that.
guys. The big
Okay.
crime organization that's part of robbing 9 times a day.
I know how we fix this movie.
How?
I just figured it out.
We remove it.
So,
We Men in Black
and this
neuralize
is
each
better.
other.
This is better. So you go through it. They're planning this out. The cops are talking about it. They schedule it for a Sunday. They go to the bank and they're like, "Shit, it's closed," and they go home.
Look, fuck,
And
dude.
then
There's literally nothing we can do because that's illegal. We can't do that.
Dude,
That's
whenever
actually.
you're open. Whenever you are open.
I oughta. When you're open, I
Yeah.
swear. I'm gonna
Start this
go
movie
in
from
there and
next
I'm gonna
movie.
make a transaction.
Change everything in this movie just to a comedy and just make it really dumb and really stupid.
Yeah. Dude, that's
Um,
like one of the
and then
worst
to make
parts
it funny.
about it is that the main character, like I guarantee they made it because he was like, I want to be a badass action hero. It really
that's
felt
actually
like
it.
that. Also, like at one point I was being mean and I wrote down this was written by a guy who just got a divorce, and I was like, that's definitely the reason why the family stuff was in there, because it was like
Dude, that definitely is.
it felt so
wait,
spiteful and
is
random.
that true or is that your theory?
That's my theory. I don't know if it's true.
I would
I
agree
hope
with
it's
that
true,
theory.
because that just is what it is. It's just embarrassing,
Ooh.
like the entire time.
Yeah.
He's just
You
coping.
think he definitely did like something similar? If going along with your theory, he definitely did something similar.
Yeah,
He
dude.
definitely
He
did something
probably.
similar. That
Dude,
was
he's
so
the
random.
dumbass that fucking texted his wife about a hooker.
Dude, the girls at the club right now, they're going brazy. Oh, I meant to send it to the boys.
Chandler,
no.
oh no! I meant to send it to the group chat. I thought that was a snap.
Dude, no, I'm cooked.
Chandler, you
Yeah,
said something
yeah.
nice about the movie, right? What was it?
Yeah, did you? Their math was close.
Skylar, I'm
I
coming
can
to
say.
you next. You have to think of something.
Their math was close.
Okay. I might have two things I liked. So the beginning fight, whenever they're looking at the scene where the car was stolen, and like they eat the donuts, he throws a donut, kind of litters, but it'll decompose, so it's okay, I guess. He gets into that argument with whoever was in a suit, and they had an argument whenever they were holding up. There was hostages in that one scene. I thought that their little argument, their banter was actually pretty entertaining and real. It felt witty, like it was like they weren't really reading off of the script.
Right.
And then two, when the guy who made it out, the guy that was evidently the leader from the get-go, he was talking about why Merriman liked him for his driving skills. Just, I don't know, around that time of the film, it just reminded me a lot of GTA and Cyberpunk missions for some reason. I got some flashbacks.
What about
and
that?
I like that.
What about that one
That's about
scene where Merriman almost kicked out Donnie out of the group? He was like, "Are you a Fed?" Like,
Yeah, that
no, he's your leader, bro. Why
Now
are
that
you
know
talking to
the
him
very
like
end.
that?
Yeah, wait.
now- If you watch the end, that makes utterly no sense.
Yeah, like what the
But
fuck?
Until then, it kind of does go with the flow. Like the very end of the movie really does just ruin everything, because you see Donnie as like he looks like the weak figure of the group, like the weak link.
It's probably because
he
his actor
actually
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was told to act like that. Act like
Maybe
that, even though
Dude,
you are.
doesn't
He tried. He certainly
Yeah,
tried.
you can tell he was acting.
Like, they had to fool us,
Certainly
you know?
did something.
Yeah, dude.
And at the very end, it wasn't. It definitely is like how I feel about this is how you guys feel about Smile. How it kind of just ruins the movie.
Mhm.
By
Yeah.
how nothing's really real. That's exactly how I feel knowing the ending, the very ending, and his acting up until then is just so fake.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
do agree
bad.
with you on that. If you stop, like right before, it makes sense. But like once you like you said, the second you start that ending, you're like, wait.
The second one of them
were they
dies,
accusing him?
end the movie, pretend like the cops got the money back.
Also at the what was it? They opened up the bags. You're like, what were they making? Snow globes? Like.
What do you
Dude, why are
mean?
you laughing about this? You just murdered like 6 guys.
Yeah, you just
And
murdered,
probably
like,
some
6
civilians too.
people. Some of your own team is hurt, and you're making jokes about.
Some of his
snow
own
globes
team
like that.
died.
Yes,
At
and he's
least
like,
one did. The other get hurt, shot in the knee.
Oh yeah, only one died. One of your teammates died, and you're making a snow globes joke?
the other one needs help.
Yeah,
Like he cannot move.
go help your
and
friend.
You're cracking jokes about snow globes.
Yeah.
And then what was the? Oh yeah, whenever they first got, is it? You said it's Donnie, right? The guy that made out, like abandoned the delivery guy.
I love how that's how we're
Why is
describing
it
him.
whenever he was walking, they pulled up a van and just started beating the shit out of him? Like they
Yeah.
they didn't know for sure, I guess.
Fuck you,
But, like,
they
really took a risk.
Yeah, I like that.
He
That
could
was
have just
funny.
been a delivery guy in a red shirt.
Could have been,
He could have
yeah.
been anybody,
Yeah.
and they could have gotten the shit beaten out of them.
Yeah,
for-
push him
What
into
about-
the
they did
fence
not ask
first.
what he's doing, where he came from. They didn't ask him any questions. They immediately just started hitting him.
Grabbed him, beat the
The
fuck
one
out of
guy
him.
jumped into
And
the
then beat him
car.
in the car after he was
jumped
handcuffed.
in, he, like,
Yeah,
Superman
as he
punched him.
was jumping into the car, he fucking Superman
Like,
punched
move
him.
over, real quick, move over.
That
real
was so
quick.
good. I love that.
Excuse me. And then just straight to the face.
Skylar, is that the scene that you liked then?
Dude, the scene I liked.
Yeah.
No, I think I like the divorce the most. I don't want that guy to be happy. I do not want that main
He does
actor to
not
be
deserve
happy. He does not deserve
He
it.
doesn't deserve to be
He
happy.
didn't
He did
deserve
not
that at
deserve those.
all.
He did
He
not
didn't
deserve
even.
that wife and kids.
He did
In
not
the sequel, he
deserve to
gets a happy
even like
ending.
start that family in the slightest.
No,
Why
he
did
not.
she say yes?
I
Idiot.
don't know, dude. And why was he? He's like, oh, why are you doing this to me? And I'm like, bro, you texted
Yeah,
her.
and then you
actually
you like
gave
stood
yourself
in,
up.
you didn't let her leave whenever she wanted to go. You stood in front of the car, didn't let her open the door. What the fuck, you dickwad?
He
Like,
kept shutting it too.
yeah, jerk. Someone
Yeah.
could have got hurt, dumbass.
Also, oh yeah, one more I just remembered. He pulled up to the school and started talking to her through the
Yeah,
fence. Why did
forgot
the
about
teacher
that.
not say anything?
Yeah, that's fucked
Nothing.
right
Like,
there.
hey, who are you? What are you doing? How do you know
Yeah,
it? What are you doing? Why are you here? It's school. Go home. Leave.
Go
what are you
home.
doing?
Yeah, that was a bit
Like any of those
questionable.
questions?
creep weirdo.
Does he have like restrictions on visiting his kids?
No, but that's
he pulled
weird.
up
Why?
to a school.
Oh, I
A
think
random
it's weird
adult
for
started
him to
talking to
pull
a
it
kid
back,
through a
yeah.
fence. Yeah.
I wonder
I
if he
mean,
did that because that was his only way.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
why
I'm
didn't
not
the
saying
teachers
him.
be
Why
like,
did
what?
the teachers not
Yeah,
do anything?
They're
Uh,
slacking. What can you say?
the only
apparently
thing I can kind of come up with is that the teacher saw before and realized it was her
the
dad.
dad.
That's the only thing, but I
Who
don't think she
cares?
ever looked that way until the very end when she's just calling her name.
It doesn't matter. We could tear this
I guess
movie to
not.
shreds, apparently,
There's
but
so many things that don't make sense.
yeah, I like this. The only scene I liked was the scene where they scared the boy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Fair.
I watched a Sidemen video before or after I watched this movie, and I liked it a lot more. It was kind of funny.
I watched a lot of stuff other than this movie. That's not true. I have experienced a lot of things other than this movie in the last week, and this was the worst one.
Zach, would you like to? Do we feel comfortable giving our scores now?
Yeah.
Zach, would you like to kick it off, and then Chandler?
I need to think
What,
on it a little bit more. I'm between a couple numbers. Just
really?
I want Chandler to go first.
I did have a number, but after our discussion, it is gone up. Just kidding. It's gone down.
That'd be funny if it was like I actually liked it a
up a
little
little
bit
bit.
more.
It's a 4. I'm giving it a 4.
What was it before? Out of
A
curiosity.
6.
6.
Six.
Okay. Skylar, I still need to think. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I was thinking like a 1 or a 0. I don't know if I ever want to see this again. I'd be completely fine with this erased from history.
I thought it being worse than Constantine, so immediately I was like, all right,
It is
it's a
worse than
1.
Constantine.
I think this is like I like Constantine. I think Constantine's a good movie. Actually I think Constantine's a great movie. In all honesty, I think this was god awful. Like I put down a 5, like a 5 out of 10. I think I'm being super generous with that. I've recently been between a 2 and a 3. I think I'm gonna have to go with the 2. I think Chandler is shooting it too high with a 4. Like it's a go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd give it a point for. That's the thing. I'm justifying a 1 or a 0. I don't know what gave it a point, other than the fact it actually made it to a theater.
But you're right. Like
Actually don't know what
that's
I'd
why
give a point
you've
for.
convinced me into the.
I don't know. I actually don't know. Like, what about this movie? Was I like, you know what? That at least.
If
is
you
something.
really, if
Like,
you
the conversation with
really,
Chandler makes sense. Like that was pretty decent. That was witty. Chandler's right with that. But what
like,
else? Genuinely, what else?
this is someone's favorite movie though. Like it has to be because
There's no way.
if
There's
you
just no
really
way.
like California, you really like cop movies, you really like heist movies, you like twists, and you don't have many brain cells, this is your favorite thing ever, probably.
Even with that, there has to be at least 4 other movies that do it better. There has to be. California and Bank Heist are not like
You're
foreign
right.
subjects.
Yeah.
And then with like non-brain and Bank Heist, and usually having it as your favorite movie, are not foreign subjects. Not to be rude. But like there's just I still don't see it. I think there's like 5 other movies that are better just in this super specific genre alone.
I think we need to start watching worse movies because like me and Jack, we've seen way worse movies than this. We need to put you through the ringer. I think this still functionally relatively works as a film. Like we need to get you into movies that literally don't work.
I mean, I feel like this one didn't really work.
It didn't work. It didn't.
Like Moana 2.
Like Morbius.
I was gonna say I've heard Moana 2 was very bad.
I've heard Moana 2 is also pretty bad.
As you said, it's just a TV show.
It is, yeah.
Combined with the movie.
Essentially,
But
3
look,
episodes of the TV show.
That doesn't. Yeah, that shouldn't qualify as.
Okay, so you're saying that it functionally, well, did you say it does or does not work as a movie? Because it does, but it also doesn't.
I
'Cause
think-
it contradicts itself the entire movie.
I think you're right. I think if you think of it as a movie, it doesn't work. But if you're looking at it as like there's a beginning, middle, and end, and they all
Dude, that's not that hard. That's literally just writing
relatively
words.
flow into each other, then yes, it
Right.
functionally works. Dude, you have not seen Morbius. You need to understand that literally there are movies that get published that don't work. Like they just aren't movies.
But those are funny bad. That is funny
Sometimes. Okay.
bad.
I haven't
is
watched
really
it since the
funny
theaters,
bad.
so we need to I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough discussion. I'm gonna stick with a 2 for right now. That's where I'm at.
I think I'm gonna stick with the. I think I'm gonna stick with the 1.
That's
I don't
fine.
think
That's
I actually
okay.
don't know. There. Okay. If we continue Mediak for however long, I think there might be a total of 10 movies that I would rate lower than this. Maybe
That's
that
fair.
we might find. Maybe
That's
10.
fair. I can't argue with you on that because this genuinely was one of the worst movies we've watched on the podcast. I'm so sorry, Chandler. That's
Yo,
so-
dude, I picked a banger, right?
Yeah. Dude, you got the streak going. Chandler, I am so sorry, and I'm not trying to be mean because you picked it. Because again, I do trust
Dude,
your movie.
Chandler, I
do
want you
trust
to see
your
my
movie.
notes, dude. I was so nice to it. I was like, I don't want to be mean because of Chandler.
Chandler, I want you to know. After a point, I stopped writing notes. I was like, I'm being too mean. I'm just gonna stop.
I
I didn't even give the number on there.
definitely watched this during Pirates of the Caribbean 5 era. They both came out with a year apart. from
That's
each
the thing.
other.
Caribbean 5 is
I
much
think
better
Joker
than this.
2 is worse than this movie. Like I'm
No,
going
I
through.
do not
I think
so.
Joker's 2
It's
is worse
close,
than this
but not
movie
that
because I think it was more boring because I was paying attention for the most part of this movie because I thought it was fun at certain bits to rip it apart, while the other one, there really wasn't anything to pay attention to in it. And it also retroactively makes a decent movie worse, and this doesn't do that.
Fair.
It might.
Maybe the second one's...
Sequel,
Yeah.
the sequel might have been good if you don't watch the first one.
What are the reviews for the sequel right now? I'm curious.
I don't know,
I
Chandler.
have no idea.
Do you mind
Um,
looking that up real quick? So what's
so,
the
I mean-
math on our rating?
Dude, we're at like a
It's
3.5.
Seven out of
7.
7 out of
Yeah, we're
30
like-
divided by 3. It's like a 2 point
Or
like
just round
3.
to a 2.
It's like about a 2 out of 10. That's crazy.
Okay, so now you're putting the idea of Joker 2 versus this movie in my mind.
Hmm.
And the only thing coming to me about why I think Joker 2 might be better is Lady Gaga at least sounds pretty good. And like some of her songs are pretty good.
Yeah,
So like at least that's a concert.
I
Like
just-
if I don't want to call it a movie, it's a concert.
I just
So,
didn't like that one. Like that movie.
yeah, I didn't like
sucked.
it either.
Even the
but now
music
I'm
in
trying
it
to
was
say it's good.
terrible.
Like if one's a 1, the other one's a 2. Like they are not that separated. But
The sequel's ratings look just the same, if not worse.
That doesn't mean
like a 7
anything.
or a 6. I
That
don't
doesn't
see-
really mean anything to me. It could be the exact same quality, and then people are now
Yeah.
realizing that it's not
Oh.
good.
I will
That is
say at
true.
least Nick and Donnie are both in it.
Danny.
I'm only saying it that way because there's a guy at my high
Did,
school called Donnie.
Is 50 Cent in the next one?
What?
Is 50 Cent in the sequel?
Oh, he's gone, brother.
Dude, no. they
Skylar
lost
does
the
not
main
have any
draw.
reason to watch this movie anymore. All right, let's stop talking about this shithole of a movie. I'm sorry, Chandler. Let's get into
Chandler, I
news.
again am so sorry.
You guys aren't hurting my feelings whatsoever. You guys keep apologizing, but I could care
I
less.
feel like
I
you
That's
said this
good.
about a movie
You
I
guys
picked. My
associate with
feelings
the
are
guy
reversed.
last week, all right? I
Yeah,
don't know who said
There
we
was
should
a
watch
different
the film.
guy, doesn't know what he was talking about. That's
Chandler,
funny.
the only thing I was thinking is if I picked like a movie that I had nostalgia towards, and this is the podcast that happened because of it, I would be so sad.
Dude, like, we rock up to the Tron Legacy podcast, and you guys just tear it the fuck apart, and I'm just
I
sitting
like
here
Tron
like...
Legacy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
happy you like it,
I
but...
like it.
Yeah, it's a great
It's
movie.
not pretty good.
But, like,
I like
what
this more.
what if it was that way, dude? Like, what if this was Chandler's favorite movie, and we came in and we're like, this is
No,
arguably one of the
no,
worst
no.
things we've ever had on the podcast.
I know.
That'd be tough.
And he's like, yeah, I agree.
Sad. Sad
Yeah,
times.
Yeah.
number real quick.
Chandler, you wanted to say something during the news segment. What was it?
Yes, it's
Yes,
somewhat
leave it up.
news. Lego
Yep.
and One Piece
I
are
screenshotted it.
no longer rumored.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's coming out, sometime this year. But yes, that thing right there. I would expect no
Gumbo.
more than 3 sets max.
It's gonna be
they'll
off the
probably
live
do
action one
that.
though, not the anime.
I mean,
Which
they're gonna
I think
probably look the same.
that probably makes sense.
It does make
I'm
sense.
sure more people would understand Netflix than they would Crunchyroll or something.
Yeah.
At least the audience on the Western side per
Yeah.
se.
Okay, next news. Sonic
Okay,
4. What?
I just want the Luffy hat. It looks so cool.
Yeah, dude, I
The
want
Luffy
it
hat
so
is
I want Mary like so badly.
Mhm.
Okay,
I have
the
Sunny
Lego
over
set.
there.
You want them to build the ship?
Mhm.
Do we think they're gonna do that? Like, okay, if
Mhm.
they have 3 Lego sets, wait, you know actually what's confirmed?
No,
I don't.
I just think
Okay.
that it's a wasted opportunity. Okay, so it has to be from the start of One Piece up to Alabasta. It's a
Yes.
waste to not do Mary. Like, think of
I
the
agree.
locations. I think Logtown is a lock because the scene with Buggy where he's gonna cut off Luffy's head. I think that's like iconic where he's at the top of the tower. I think Mary is a lock. Like Mary is 100% gonna be in it. If they don't do that, they're stupid because that's gonna sell like crazy.
Just keep in mind, Lego doesn't like violence so much. Like, it took them a long time to accept Star Wars,
Right.
I think. Or like they don't like using actual guns. Like, they don't do military. They do blasters.
It's
That's why they do
swords.
Star Wars.
They're little
blasters.
swords.
Yes, but with like you said like him getting his head cut off, they might not like that.
Well, that's
They
fine.
might
We don't
not
have to
like
have that. We could just have the tower with the thing. Luffy can be at the bottom. Buggy's at the top. What even happened there? I don't know.
Yeah, true. He could have just been looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I agree though. Sunny's a good pick.
Sonny's a lock. That one's safe.
What characters are in there? Because they will not put all like members of the Luffy of the Straw Hat crew. They will not. They have bad. Actually, no.
If he was
When it
up
comes-
to,
There's only
when it comes to-
5. It would be Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Shanji.
With Star Wars, specifically Star Wars, they have a very bad habit of like putting in half, if that, of the characters that should be included.
Okay,
But with new things, like they just did like Lego Fortnite, the battle bus has like 12 characters, 15. It's so many. So they might. There's a good shot they'll do it. They'll do the justice for.
I think
for-
Chopper's
Luffy,
guaranteed
Luffy.
at least in one of the Lego sets. He's too
I'm thinking
marketable.
Nami.
Well,
I feel like
that's,
Nami and Zoro are guaranteed.
Hmm.
You saw like the trailer though, like his arm was stretchy. So do you think they'll have like an attachment of
Yeah,
some sort?
I
or,
do
like,
think
the
so,
arm
yeah.
can be elongated. There's so much potential. I'm excited. I hope hope it's not expensive.
It's gonna be expensive. Let's be
It's
honest.
gonna be expensive.
Hopefully no more than $100. Cause
Sonic the Hedgehog 4 races in the theaters March 16th, 2027.
But I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that's fair. Sonic
Love
and
Sonic.
sorry for cutting you off. I had to zoom in there like how Sonic zooms.
Fine.
You know, it was relevant to the
shadow.
news.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
yeah.
Sonic and the Flash are also getting a comic book where Sonic and the Flash team up against Darkseid. We got some more voice cast announcements. Aaron Paul and Simu Liu are joining Invincible. What was his name? Simu Liu's character is called Multipole. His name's Paul, but he can clone himself, like duplicate. And then Aaron Paul is playing a different guy who had his own poster. I don't remember his name though. Chandler, did you see Benedict Cumberbatch like spoil a lot of the upcoming Avengers movies?
Really, him of all people.
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
see that.
He said
Of
fuck
all
it. He actually said fuck it, and I'm not going to say everything because I don't want to know everything, but he said 100% Doctor Strange is not in the next movie. He's not in Secret Wars at all, but he's like one of the
Oh, wait,
big
I think I did see that.
What?
I think I did see that he wasn't
Probably.
in it.
Yeah, but he's
Oh,
going to be
Secret
one Wait, I lied.
Or Doomsday.
I lied. I mixed it around. Yeah, he's not in Doomsday, but he is going to be one of the main characters in Secret Wars.
Okay, I can get
I
down
think I
with
saw
that.
somebody say that it's because he's fighting. It's something with Wanda in the different realm.
Yeah,
so it
he-
makes sense why he wouldn't be here.
With what's her name? Not Wanda. The purple
The-
lady. Chandler. No, not Agatha. The purple lady from the end of Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, I
It
don't
doesn't
know. I know
matter. It does
I
not
know her name.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Something that we
sense.
talked about last week, we talked about Clayface and his possibility of life after the show. And James Gunn confirmed, this is what he said. He said, the reports of Clayface's death have been greatly exaggerated. He is quite mushy, though.
Wow. Okay, so he's alive.
Yeah, he is alive. Well, because we're getting a movie about him. I guess it could have been a prequel, but
So
it
then
makes sense.
why didn't Waller like contain?
Maybe they did. Maybe we just didn't see it. We got a confirmation of Robert Eggers' next movie. Robert Eggers is the guy who made The Northman, The Lighthouse, The Witch, and Nosferatu. He is making a movie called Werewolf, which is weird because he was like, I want to make a movie that I already wrote called The Night, and I also want to remake a movie called The Labyrinth. And then he was like, I'm actually not going to do either of those next, though. I'm going to make a movie called Werewolf, which is cool. I love him. I hope he makes all three of those because I like his movies. I think he's going to do a great job when that comes out. We got a possible confirmed cast of Sinestro in the DC TV show called Lanterns with Ulrich Thompson. I don't really know who he is, but I hope he does great. And that's the end of my news today. Awkward pause. Love that.
Yeah, well, I do have a question before.
That was a great one, dude. That was a great transition this time. What was it? What was your question?
Chandler,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
how are your knees feeling?
The knees are okay. The knees are okay, kind of.
Did starting volleyball make them worse?
They're
Of
definitely
course.
like they're not used to jumping, so like the actual knees are
Mhm.
sore.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I think it's just like repetition will help build that tolerance. But Sky, I have a question.
Oh, I was gonna tell you that I forgot to do the treadmill thing today.
Oh, don't worry. I just did it on the one in my neighborhood.
Mediakers, I don't know what they're talking about, so don't feel excluded.
Yeah, I will enlighten everyone. So
Okay.
anyone out there has knee pain, and trust me, some of us, we all have knee pain.
I guarantee a lot of us do.
If you walk backwards on a treadmill, I thought that you would turn it on, keep it at like the same pace, if not slow it down, and incline it and walk backwards. So it's like you're walking up a hill. It's supposed to build muscle surrounding the knees. It's like pulling
The cart.
Huh?
Like pulling like a
No,
cart. Like
no. It's like a lot of workouts have these like they'll have like a turf field and you can like push this thing with weights on it. I
Sleds.
don't know what it's sled. Thank you, gosh.
Yes.
A sled. It's very similar to that, like pulling a sled. So it's supposed to be very good for your knees. But what I just figured out recently is that you turn the treadmill off, keep it off, and if it's willing, you can manually push the tread.
Oh, and that's
So-
better.
You can't incline it because it's turned off. But yeah, because you're actually engaging the muscles to
Interesting.
move the tread.
I like
It's
that.
not that difficult, but yeah, it puts a lot more strain on your knees, and I think it's more effective essentially.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, that was more interesting than the entire news segment, at least to me.
Yeah, and then what have you been watching?
It's which
What have I
one?
been watching? Both of us, we both good.
Okay, Chandler. 3, 2, 1. No, I'm kidding. You go.
I actually haven't been doing anything except for one thing, and that's Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. I told you guys about that.
Yeah.
The best purchase of my life.
Yes.
I've put too many hours into it. It's the only thing I've been doing except for maybe some Forts, some Rivals. Really nothing but this game, and I have.
You guys still
I
play
think-
Fortnite?
Yeah.
I don't
Not
mean
much.
that in like a derogatory thing. I just am like I the only games I really play are Rivals or anything else like solo.
I sometimes play Fort, not much, not for long, because it's
I
just
usually
so
only
sweaty
play-
right now. I can't. Like I actually just rage because of like how good people are, like the lobbies I'm in. It's just not fun.
Right.
It's really not fun right now. But
Right.
can you guys see this? I don't know if you can. It's gonna be like really.
Horizon.
Yeah, I don't. You really can't tell, but I have a couple of screenshots now from my home screen. The photos are just beautiful.
They're from
They
the
really
game?
are. they're from the game. I literally just screenshot. It goes to my OneDrive, and I'm able to pull those to my phone. They're just so good. I can't wait to take more photos.
Everyone's
Honestly,
favorite
it's
main
so good.
character, Horizon, from the game Zero Dawn.
Hey,
Hmm.
look,
Yeah,
I want her. I want her in Fort. That's the skin I was talking about. Her right there.
and
She's
she
only
is in
been
Fort already.
yeah, she's been there a couple times. She and Kratos, they don't show them love. Even when
Sony
the
hates
game
us.
released, they do hate us. Even when like Ragnarok released, I don't think Kratos is in the show. Same with Forbidden West.
Okay, Chandler, ready.
Yes,
Three,
yes.
2, 1. Sky,
Yeah.
what are
What have
you
you been
watching?
watching?
So
It's
bad.
actually getting slightly better each
That
week.
that was, for me. It was terrible. We did not nail it at
For
all.
me, it wasn't that bad.
That's
It was like
great.
Zach
See,
slightly
you say
before,
Skylar and I
and
say
then
Sky. We're never gonna
I
have
said
it
Sky
right.
that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard the learn
And
at
I
the
said,
end.
"What are
I
you
was like,
watching?" And you said, "What have you been watching?" And I was like, "Fuck." The second I realized that, I was like, "No, we're gonna get it one of these days. One of these days, we're gonna nail it, and it's gonna be so cool."
we're not gonna know what to do after that.
Yeah, we'll give
Guy's not
up.
gonna be able to say
We'll
anything.
stop the bit. That
We'll
when
just
that
end the
happens,
podcast
we'll
right
end the
there.
bit.
So my watch has been essentially the same from the last week. I'm still watching One Piece, watching Daima, watching Blue Lock. I didn't get to either of the episodes yet.
I didn't watch the
And
Dragon
then-
Ball episode either. I
And
heard it was good,
then
though.
I am on basically episode 1020. I just looked of One Piece.
How'd you like
ninth-
episode 10, 15?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. You have to like.
The one
I
where-
watched them and like.
Do you
a
remember-
Span.
Where the worst generation appeared on the top of Onigashima, where Law was
That's it.
like the loosest one isn't even here yet, and Luffy goes and punches open
That
the
was-
door. That was so
That was
awesome.
Arguably more awesome was whenever they were all being like, okay, whoever takes this fireball, whoever
Yeah.
moves
And
first.
then it just
Yeah.
nails him in the. You
Um,
wait. What about the Red Rock? Whenever he went over to Kinemon and all of his mates were like bleeding out, and then he was like "La!" and then he teleported up to the top, and then he was the first person to land like a definitive hit on Kaido. It was so good, dude. Peak entertainment.
It was. This is also where the animation went from like an 8 out
Yeah.
of 10 to like a 10.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
It really kicked up. Like
Yeah.
it kicked up what I thought in. Is this still considered Act 2 or is this now Act 3?
This is Act 3. The raid,
Okay.
the start of the raid, whenever they're riding the boat in. Oh, I always forget about that. That scene where the Straw Hats join in the boat raid. That's an awesome, really well animated moment too that I forget about a lot.
So I thought that the animation really kicked up from in Act 2.
Yeah.
And then it seemingly took another huge
Yeah.
step in Act 3. So
Act
I
3's
was
great.
pleasantly surprised. I'm a little bit in. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm trying to get time. I've still been. I'll get Chandler back first. I don't know how to get him back.
Yeah, he's gone, dude. He's gone. But like the Kaido fight, like at the top of Onigashima, that entire fight is like as long as the Frieza fight. It's crazy. Going from like the 7 scabbards all the way up until like the end of the fight. He faces so many people.
I agree.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. You're fucking good. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get you back for a little bit.
man.
No, you're good. So obviously still watching that, and then I've been playing Rivals less than before.
Yeah.
Started playing more Minecraft. It's been pretty great, and then I'm still reading Black Clover, and I definitely like it. I'm just struggling to like do anything in my free time other than watch the movie that
Homework?
we have to review, or because I don't really count the streaming as free time, or just watch One Piece. Like if I have free time, I'm usually watching One Piece, or I am watching the movie. Well, that's usually it. I'm just actually watching One Piece because I have to watch. I'll watch the movie for this, and I'll make sure I have enough time, and then I'll stream, and then make sure I have enough time for that. So my free time is very, very, very limited with the homework too. And then, obviously, still going to the gym. and that's usually where I read Black Clover if I remember. If I'm like, some days I'll forget I have a phone, and I
And
like
he'll
won't
just
look at
no
it the
music,
entire time.
just looking straight at the ground, like.
Now, oh, like my
That's
headphones like
Skylar.
almost died today. I won't even
That's
look like
sad.
straight at
That's
the
a
ground.
sad story, bro. One time I forgot my headphones and I was like, I have to. Like, I drove all the way here and I was there for like 45 minutes and I was like, I can't. Like, this is terrible. I'm going home.
That happened.
What's worse? Sorry, this guy.
That happened to me not too long ago. Except I didn't leave them at home. I left them in the car, but the car, it was so cold outside that I was like, I'm just not getting them.
I'm
And
going
then,
home. Yeah.
no, I went into the gym without it and did my entire workout in like an hour,
Nice.
which was insanely fast.
I'm
'cause
really proud of
It
you.
was hitting 2 muscle groups for multiple sets. So
Let's freaking go,
insanely
bro.
fast workout. And then I went home. And I was like, oh,
This guy is
not doing
him.
that one again. No, not him. Him would not have forgotten.
I was gonna say, guys, what's worse, forgetting your headphones or headphones cutting out mid-session?
Cutting out midsection, that makes you so angry.
I was gonna say
Forgetting
that.
him,
I'd
I
rather
think,
forget 'em.
because like, at least I had them for. Like, I mean, unless I get there and it's like I'm starting. Like I put them on and I start it 1 minute in, it's out. That would make me upset. But if I'm
Yeah,
going
that-
for like 30 minutes, then I'm fine.
See, the part that makes me mad is they'll work, and then I'll have like a song that I really wanted to listen to, and that's when it starts cutting out. And it will like flare in and out. It'll make like the crickly sound, like from like not connecting well enough or
Yeah.
something. And that is where I get angry.
Bro,
And then
you-
I
you
like I
have
don't
all
want
these
to move on.
connection issues. You have
I
bad
do.
Wi-Fi,
Skylar
you
is
have
the
Bluetooth,
connection issue.
Bluetooth.
Dude, I know. But
You just need to restart.
Yeah, but-
you yourself just need like a uninstall it and then install all over again or something.
dude,
Reset
it's to the
update.
point where I'm just getting ready, instead of like the uninstall and reinstall, I'm just gonna like trash and buy new. That's like what I'm starting to get, because I'm so tired of it. For everybody who doesn't know, I have notoriously bad Wi-Fi. I
True.
have notoriously bad luck, and then I am notoriously bad with technology,
I think
and
your
none
luck
of
is
those go
fine.
together well. So, many problems all of the
Nice.
time. A lot of frustration on the technology and Wi-Fi side and
Yeah.
connection side. Yeah,
It
and
happens.
it's usually brand new stuff too. Usually my stuff that's like really old works really well. But Zach,
I thought everyone was gonna forget. I'm not gonna lie. I was just gonna sit here sad and be like, no one wanted to listen to what I experienced this week. No one cared, but it's okay. I know
what
you
have-
care.
What have you been watching?
Dude,
How's
I'll
it
tell
work?
you. I'll tell you guys. It's not super exciting, but I want you to know I'm excited
To me.
about it.
It's exciting to me.
True. I'm caught up to date on the manga that I found and enjoyed, Galaxius. It's pretty good. I like it.
Congrats on getting caught up.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm on chapter 18 out of 18. And
Dude, let's go.
I know, it's crazy. And then I played a tiny bit of Black Ops 6. I didn't actually end up finishing the battle pass. Today was the last day. I was at 95%, and I was looking at the stuff that's left, and I was like, I just don't care. So I'm not gonna play hardcore for the next 5% because these don't matter. I got everything else. Not that that stuff matters either. If I'm being honest, not gonna use it, but at least I have it. I got my money's worth. I got enough to buy the next battle pass. Not gonna do that though. What else did I play? Rivals, and the coup de grace for the entire week was I watched both the Kill Bill movies, and they were great, fantastic films. One day gonna do them on the podcast. Not today. Not today. We had to watch a shitty movie.
Hey.
Some would say the best. Some.
Yeah, it was pretty peak actually. My favorite member of the podcast actually picked it, so it was amazing. It was a really great.
That's my favorite member too. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
it's everyone's favorite member. I mean, like if we're being honest here, so it's the greatest
Mhm.
movie ever.
My favorite member is the honorary members.
Which are Skylar,
Huh?
which is Skylar, but
I
this
said
version of
Scout.
Skylar. Oh, I thought you said the honorary member. I thought that's just what you said, and I was like, is that Skylar? But Skylar before he joined the podcast,
he
specifically
eventually-
that version of him.
Dude, Maybe.
Yeah. That's
to get a
fair.
full-time
The,
job, I
the
guess.
one that appeared on Venom 1 and 2, but only Venom 1 in the YouTube canon.
That's right. Well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
according to Carnage, yeah, Venom 2 is uncanny.
Yeah, Venom 2 is uncanon. All right, I think that's all I have for this week. Next week we're gonna be pulling up with a banger. I think it's Whiplash, right? If we looked at the schedule, I made the schedule, so I
I
have
want to
it in
say
a
you're
second.
right. I
I
really
think
do.
I'm right.
I looked at all of them.
It's
All at
Whiplash,
once. I
yeah.
was like,
Next week is Whiplash.
where's that
The
at?
week after that, I don't know. I think on
I can look
Max.
it up.
Whiplash.
Just in case our viewers want to watch the movie with us and be caught up,
Yeah,
they can watch
it's
with us
on
and oh,
Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, I see Netflix as well, and
Yeah.
Amazon if you don't have Netflix, but you definitely have to rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
who knows? Maybe our viewers want to watch the movie and see if they agree with our takes or if they want to disagree.
yeah, let's
You
do
know,
that
we can
only
argue in
for
the
the good
comments.
movies, though. Let's not do that whenever
We'll
we get
argue in the
a
comments,
City of
and
Thieves.
Mediakers, you'll argue with me, and there's only I don't know if there's a single person more stubborn than me, so I will wish you luck in advance if you want to argue.
Feel free to do it.
um,
It's literally like slamming your head against a brick wall, though, and he loves it. So just do your best.
It's fantastic. I will
Oh.
convince you that I am right and you are wrong until you give up.
I don't know. I might know another stubborn person from a Black Ops
When
Zombies game.
when the bid calls for it, Chandler, I will be funny. I'm just saying. there's a good bit. There's a good bit that me and Chandler had in our Citadel and More playthrough, and it was really funny. On my end, it might not have been funny on Chandler's end, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, you were the target audience anyway. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. I did watch the video twice, so it's
Really?
just because of that, because I think it's hilarious. Yeah. All right. I think I have all my quarrels out for this week. Are y'all good?
Maybe just one more. Don't watch this movie.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Maybe that's how I end it. Like I feel like I haven't said enough, but I feel like I have.
If you leave off if you leave Mediak with any word of advice, do not watch Den of Thieves. I mean City of Thieves.
Any advice?
Would you guys say watch both Smile 1 and Smile 2 before this?
Dude, that's a good question. Maybe. Because there's at least a right time of the year for Smile 1, I guess.
I think there's
at least entertaining parts in Smile 1 and 2.
We need to watch both.
Back to back?
No, I don't. I think if you're going for both, this is definitely more worth it because it's shorter than both of them. But I was going to go for Smile, like one of them, because they're both shorter than this movie. So I was like, that's fair.
I think I'm still gonna stick with the Smiles over this one.
I think both Smiles are better than this.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, of course you think that.
Dude, no, I'm agreeing with Chandler. I'm going with Zach.
Yeah, I'm just not choosing because that's like terrible. That's a bad choice right there. I don't want to watch either of them.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's just like you know what? I'm taking the
The real
Schlatt
one
way
is-
out. I'm just gonna kill myself. If I have to choose between those two movies, I'm going out. Just saying.
I think the better comparison is this or Joker 2. I think.
Yeah,
But
I'd still probably kill myself. All right. Are you guys? We're ready to go into next week.
We're good.
All right. I'll see you guys later. We're gonna be watching Whiplash. All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Have a great time.